gathered today to mourn the loss of another pathetic piece of shit, garbage football season for the San Francisco 49ers. This past season they finished 4-12, tied for second worst in the league. This team lost to the Arizona Cardinals, one of only two teams to do so, and they lost to them twice. They also lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jameis Winston. How the fuck do you pull that shit off? Oh, that's right. Because that's the other thing. This Niners team was injury depleted. It started with their running back before preseason began, in Jerick McKinnon. Why they decided that they needed a scat back, I'll never know. But that's a minor problem. The major problem was week 3, when Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL on a play that was his own fault. All he had to do was just run out of bounds. But no, he had to do some extra stuff, and his knee buckled, and there went the season. Non-contact injury too. So you can't blame offensive line for that one. This could be a case of buyer beware, because the 49ers paid him a ridiculous amount of money for playing only 7 games. And this is not the first time we've heard stories of quarterbacks getting ridiculous amounts of money for playing minimal amount of games. But it is what it is. The other thing that went wrong for the 49ers was their defense. Oh my Christ, their fucking defense. It's one of the worst defenses in NFL history. Setting records for mass retardation. The defense only recorded 2 interceptions this past season, and only 7 turnovers. The previous mark was 3 and 11, respectively. Oh, and they've had a -25 turnover ratio, which is the worst margin in 10 years. That played a huge factor in earning the number 2 overall pick. But at least they have some depth at the running back position. Should any running back stay healthy? It wasn't just McKinnon that went out. It was also that Mostert dude. You know, the one with the T-Rex arm because it was broken during the Niners Thursday Night Football victory over the Raiders. Yeah, they kicked Oakland's ass out of the Bay Area, of course. But that's the one positive that they have. The Bay Area will be the lone home of the 49ers, at least in NFL terms. The other positives was George Kittle, who set a record for good. Yeah, the good record when he broke the record for most receiving yards in a single season by a tight end. But last I checked, yards do not win football games. Points win football games, and judging by the scores, the 49ers obviously didn't score enough points to win them. Actually, I take that back. They've scored quite a few points here and there. They've scored quite a few points. And they were able to stay in games up until the season was shot to shit. But the bright spot was beating the Oakland Raiders. There's Kyle Shanahan beating the Broncos, basically telling John Elway to eat a bag of dicks. To be fair though, for those Bronco fans who are still complaining about the Broncos hiring Vance Joseph over Kyle Shanahan, we don't know if Kyle Shanahan would have been the answer for the Denver Broncos. Would Kyle Shanahan... We don't know that shit. Although, to be fair, if Kyle Shanahan was the was the Broncos head coach, maybe Trevor Siemian wouldn't have fucking sucked so bad having to learn a new fucking offense with Bill Musgrave and Mike McCoy. So I'll give them that. But this is not about the Broncos. This is about the 49ers, who the Broncos lost to. And the Seahawks too, and the Raiders, and the Detroit Lions. Those are the only 4 teams that lost to the 49ers. Only 4 teams that lost to the 49ers. Another positive is DeForest Buckner becoming another good defensive player for the 49ers. However, they lose a player not to injury, but to retardation in Reuben Foster. When he got his dumbass in trouble, earning him an arrest for domestic violence, and also earning a spot on the commissioner's exempt list, prompting the 49ers to cut him immediately. So what do the Niners need to do to get better? Well, you can't say offensive line because Jimmy Garoppolo didn't get injured because of an offensive line. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. And listen, I don't want to rip too much on Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy Garoppolo is a good arm talent. Okay, he could throw the football well, and he has shown at times that he can play quarterback. But he has yet to play a full fucking season. So, give me a fucking break. Why the fuck were the 49ers... I didn't think the 49ers were a playoff team anyway. Losing Jimmy Garoppolo confirms that they're clearly not an average football team. They are a bad football team. So what needs to happen to this fucking team? Well, you have $60 million in cap space, and only almost $3 million in dead money. So that should help the 49ers some. Obviously they need a number 1 wide receiver. Do they go full retard and trade for Antonio Brown? Because as talented as he is, he's a fucking diva cockfucker crybaby, and the 49ers have already dealt with somebody like that before they shipped him to Philadelphia. No offense to T.O., but it is what it is. And that was so long ago. Well, obviously though, they need to improve their defense, judging by those ridiculous futile numbers. Do they go to the draft and get an extra pass rusher or a run blocking defensive tackle maybe? Or do they get somebody to complement Richard Sherman? Although they're... Or whatever the fuck. They should have no problems with backup quarterback, but not because of CJ Beathard, but because of Nick Mullins. He's not a starting quarterback in the National Football League. It is what it is there, but he can at least be the backup quarterback for when Jimmy Garoppolo goes down again. And that's all I've got to say about that. What does the future hold? Well, should Jimmy Garoppolo stay healthy, this future can be bright. But if they want to make it back to the playoffs, something that has not happened for the 49ers since moving to Levi Stadium, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to stay healthy and available. That's the best thing about any fucking player, is availability. That's the best talent that any player can have, is availability. If you're not available to play, then you are, because of injury and shit, then you're fucked. Move along and let the next motherfucker you're in. Because, give me a fucking break on that shit. But should the 49ers succeed, they could be a third place at best football team. Just like they were this past year. Only with a better record, with like a 10-6 or something like that. But that's the other thing. The NFC West is once again a competitive division because of the Seahawks and because of the LA Rams. But if there are no injuries and the 49ers don't go full retard in free agency, the 49ers should at least get a wild card spot in 2019. And perhaps they can sweep the Arizona Cardinals as a measure of payback for getting swept by the Cardinals in this past season. And I'll just fucking leave it at that. I'll get better with these, I fucking promise, but rest in peace, 2018 49ers season, which, by the way, is their let's see, 2015, 16, 17, yes, their fourth consecutive 10-plus loss seasons for the 49ers, and their fifth consecutive postseason miss. Let's see if they could get that turned around quickly, as long as they stay healthy. But anyway, rest in peace, San Francisco 49ers, and rest in peace, Reuben Foster's retardation. Till next time, later, fuckers.